Hello friends, and welcome in another urban hosting episode, the COVID-2 quarantine edition. If today is the first time you're visiting with us, we do want to extend you a very warm welcome and invite you to view any of our almost 500 videos arranged for your convenience in playlists, as we are confident you're going to find something both entertaining and useful. If you have been here before but you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do subscribe. If today is your birthday, thank you, Max. I want to wish you a very happy birthday. In today's Wednesday Quickie, we are going to have a first look of a very interesting and useful device that can be used not only for your woodworking, but also to check things around your house. So stick around and we're going to tell you what it is and how to use it and what we think about it. Today we're going to look at the hydrometer, which is a device that measures the content of water in any material. In this specific instance, it is designed for wood, and it measures up to 32% water content, I think, something like this. It is a very simple device. It has two prongs on the top, and these are very sharp, that are intended to go in the surface of the wood, and it will give you, in this nice very little display, it will give you the percent of water. So mode, house and wood. Okay, it has two modes. Okay, so we'll talk about that.
You just did, right on camera.
Oh, but I wasn't showing it. I don't know if you can see the icons or not.
You need to come a little closer. Can you give us a second to... Oh, it's now not green. Oh, there we go. Hold on.
Do you see a little house or a little tree?
It was a house. Now the screen is black again. There we go. Oh, it's flipping back and forth. Now it's a house. Now it's a tree.
Right. So these are the two modes, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is for material in your house, your walls, whatever. And this is for lumber.
Yeah.
So we're going to use neither of those items to test it. We're going to use a cork from our last weekend's cork experiment.
So this is the cork.
And it reads 0.
0?
Yeah, there is no reading. So let's find something else that might give us
Your skin measures
26.4%, 27.1.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's some lumber.
Let's look at the lumber here. And this is very light, very dry lumber. It's upside down.
5.4 though.
5.4. So you can see this can be very, very useful.
Now it's reading higher
Yeah,
than...
because I pressed it. Yeah, that's the correct one.
So 10.34,
Yeah.
something like that. Okay.
And of course you can go in a wall or something like this. And you see our walls are at 10,
Yeah.
somewhere around 10%.
Mm-hmm.
And why is this useful? This is useful because if you're building, especially if you build a house, you want to build with dry wood as possible. Because wet wood has the tendency to warp and has the tendency to change dimensions, right? It will shrink, it will change. So a tool like that will allow you to make sure that what you build will stay in the dimension that it was originally and will not change. It wasn't intended for an orange, but you know, it's off the chart. It's above 80%.
Well, it's a nice juicy orange.
But you can see the graph there.
Well, we did. Hold on. Can it light up again? Hold on. There we go. Yeah, just a brief second. Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want to come here, I'll do it again. Let's make sure that... Is it green? I cannot
Yep, it's green. There we go. Yeah, all the way.
So it went really high. Again, you will never build with anything that's above 30%. That's why this stays at 30% or less, right?
Yeah.
Another feature it has, it gives you the internal temperature, which in our case 74.6 degrees. Is that visible?
Bring it closer to the camera. How do I make it light up again?
Press the power button. The lower button, round button. Do you want to try it on something?
There we go.
Okay,
Yep.
so the two functions is it will give you the temperature, and the reason for the temperature, if you want to get really, really specific, the temperature and the humidity, of course, affect the percent of water around it, right? So if you want to be very precise, the temperature makes a difference. But for most general purposes, you just want to see the percent of water in something, a piece of lumber or a wall or something. Like if you're suspecting that you have a leak somewhere, if you see one of those very famous, what do you call it, shadows on your ceiling, right? Even if it doesn't feel wet to you, if you put that in, it will give you a very high moisture reading.
Like for drywall?
Yeah. Because that between those two prongs, it tells you what percent of moisture it reads between those two prongs in any material, even though it's calibrated for building materials and wood. Again, building materials is the house and wood is the tree, which I think we have shown, right?
Yep.
You can also change. You can put a max min setting, so you can see what was the driest or the wettest of what you chased, and you can have a hold function. So if you're by yourself and if you cannot read it, you can have it a hold. So when you take the measurement, it will keep the measurement. Otherwise, as you notice, it changes immediately, right? And you can change the Celsius and Fahrenheit measure, so you can measure in either scale, Celsius or Fahrenheit. Anyway, this is a very, very useful piece of equipment. And what we think? I mean, I'll give it to Elpida and Mrs. Woodworker just to see how it feels to them in their hand. The use is easy, but to me it doesn't feel like a cheaply made machine. You want to pass it to
No,
Mrs. Woodworker?
it's fairly lightweight, but
It's electronics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Electronics these days are very lightweight.
How much did it cost?
How much did it cost?
Mm-hmm.
$18. Which it can save you a lot of money if you reject lumber. Let's say if you're building a house, you will avoid all those unsightly cracks because the lumber will not change.
well,
if you
and
build it.
also to your earlier point, if you're testing for leakage or things in your house, it can help you find things that are
Damn.
potentially a damage within your house that you can repair earlier rather than later,
Right.
saving you money long term.
Really, nothing in your house should have above an 18% moisture reading. 20% is considered high, and it requires mediation, right?
Or meditation.
I
Maybe
guess
that'll fix
meditation
it.
will not help it. Huh?
So, what about those who live in your home? What
What
should
about-
they be at?
Depending how hot and wet they are. I don't know if is it visible. $19.8. You need a mediation.
I need mediation?
Yeah, you're at 21%. We said nothing above 18.
Hmm.
Can you see that or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very clear like that actually.
Okay. Want to make sure not to pierce with this thing.
That would be great.
And when you're done using it, you just put the cap back on, and you have a nice little device. And by itself, it's a very nice internal temperature thermometer because it always reads the temperature regardless, right? In any case, I will definitely recommend this piece of equipment. I really like it. I've used it a little bit since I got it. Again, this is a first look, it's not a review. After I use it for 6 months or a year, we'll come back and talk about how much I like using it. But music it?
I don't know. You're making
what word that was. But for my first look, I do like this device. I do plan to use it. The only thing I don't like, there is not an off button. And I have done this a lot of times. I think I will turn it off, and I actually turn the light on, the backlight on. And I wish there was a way to have the backlight a little longer on. It is very small period of time.
So if you just leave it, then it automatically turns off.
Right, it turns off, and you have to turn it back on. But in general, I don't like that as a feature. I prefer to turn devices off and on at will. So I do recommend one device. This happened to be a Tavul. I think I say it correctly. It is a very cheap from Amazon device. I didn't know anything about this device, so I bought one of the cheapest in Amazon. They can go up to several $100s. But I think for general purpose, for occasional use, you don't need to buy a very expensive hydrometer. This probably will meet all the needs that you have. I hope you enjoyed this little educational first look, and if you did, we ask you to give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, the other button works as well. Share, like, subscribe, let us know what you would like to see in our Wednesday first look videos or our weekend builds. And stay safe, friends. From Garage Woodworker, Miss Woodworker, and Pida, and the Urban Homesteading channel, we bid you farewell.